What's happening, swarmers? Hope you're hanging in there. Can you remember the last time you were wearing anything other than sweatpants or yoga pants? Okay then. Well, today we are going to look at water, H2O. Specifically, what type of emissions are produced, bringing this elixir of life into our lives. Water is such a massive part of our planet. Well-known facts: 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water, and 96.5% of that water is in our oceans. Of the surface freshwater, 87% is held in lakes, 11% in swamps, and only 2% in rivers. So, the distribution of drinkable water is not widespread. In 2017, 71% of the global population, that's 5.3 billion people, had access to drinkable water. That is located on premises, available when needed, and free from contamination. In order to transport and treat water so that it is drinkable in your home requires varying degrees of energy depending on where you live, the season, and type of water source. For Americans, 2 to 4% of the total energy use in the US is for drinking and wastewater systems that emit over 45 million tons of greenhouse gases annually. The energy use for water on the West Coast is much higher, with California using 19% of the total energy. This is due to a lack of natural water sources, a dependency on pumping long distances, and the use of desalination plants. History tells us that early cities located themselves near available water sources. Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, was situated between the Tigris-Euphrates river system. Think of some other cities that were founded centuries ago on rivers, such as London and the Thames, Budapest and the Danube, Cairo and the Nile, Shanghai and the Huangpu, Berlin and the Spree, among many others. It's no coincidence they became important historical cities. Surface water from lakes and rivers supply 64% of our fresh water, with the rest coming from groundwater. The water is pumped to treatment plants to make it safe for drinking. To clean our fresh water, treatment plants use different processes such as coagulation and flocculation, sedimentation, filtration, and disinfection. Desalination plants require an enormous amount of energy to create fresh drinking water. There are several different processes for either membrane-based or thermal-based methods. The traditional method of desalination, distillation, boiling and recondensation of seawater, has made way for the reverse osmosis method that now leads installed capacity and yearly growth. Reverse osmosis uses the least amount of energy at 3 to 5.5 kilowatt hours per cubic meter. The average American uses around 100 gallons of water each day. That is twice what they use in Europe, and 7.5 times the UN recommended minimum. All of that used water is sent to wastewater treatment plants and either put back into river systems or recycled for other purposes. So, we've looked at the drinking and wastewater services supplied to the home, but what else in our lives requires water? In past videos, we've discussed the large amount of water that is used in agriculture. Livestock and crops need water to grow. Natural fabric such as cotton is grown from a plant and therefore requires water. The amount of water used to grow different products varies greatly. The methods used will also influence the final total. Think grass-fed versus grain-fed beef. But these numbers are only the average emissions from US agriculture. Remember that the CO2 from the water footprint is only a portion of the total carbon footprint. We should also note that there is water used in most manufacturing processes, such as for the cooling or cleaning of machinery, or even used in the products themselves. We also have large volumes of water in nuclear power plants. So, what can we do to help reduce the emissions caused by drinking and wastewater infrastructure? At the source, utilities are looking to install renewable energy options to power the treatment of desalination plants. With further government regulations that focus on sustainability, we can ensure drinkable water of the future has minimal emissions. Options for your homes include septic tanks that reduce the energy required to remove wastewater, or installed water tank and capturing systems that will cut down on water utilities infrastructure requirements to pump water to your home. But the easiest option is always to use less. Take shorter showers, or maybe bathe with your significant other. Ensure dish and clothes washing machines are full when using them. Switch water off when not using. Think while brushing your teeth or scrubbing a pot, things like that. Capture secondary water or gray water to use on your garden. And always optimize the toilet flush.
And since there's a water scarcity on the island, we kind of abide by the if it's yellow, let it mellow, if it's brown, flush it down policy. Whoops, forgot my own rule.
As our population increases, we need to learn how to adapt to sharing our limited freshwater resources. Water is essential for life, and providing access for all that is more sustainable just makes sense. Thanks for tuning into The Hive. We really hope you learned how precious our water is. And if you have any more water-saving techniques, please share in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to The Swarm to be kept up to date on all the latest sustainability topics. See you next time. Stay healthy, stay safe.